Well, the crypto madness continues as BlackRock just filed for a spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, the ironic part about all of this is that they want to use Coinbase as their crypto custodian. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Brendan, how could this possibly be a bad thing for cryptocurrency? Because BlackRock is huge, and you'd be spot on about that. If you don't know how big BlackRock is, last year, they hit a record $10 trillion in assets under management, which is a pretty big milestone, especially when you compare it to the $1 trillion market cap of the crypto space. But in order to understand this entire situation, we have to go back to square one all the way back in 2021. Now, this was where Coinbase got the all clear, quote unquote, all clear from the SEC, which marked a big win for cryptocurrencies as Coinbase was going to be allowed to be traded as the first cryptocurrency-centered publicly traded company. So when this happened, everyone thought it was a really good sign, only to come out 2 years later, the SEC is now suing Coinbase for allegedly acting as an unregistered crypto broker. Fast forward a little bit longer, the SEC is now asking for more time to respond to Coinbase call for crypto clarity, which leads us into the current day of where BlackRock is now filing to have the spot Bitcoin ETF with Coinbase as their crypto custodian, even though the SEC is trying to sue Coinbase. And on top of all of this, the US government actually uses Coinbase to sell their confiscated Bitcoin, despite all these SEC charges against Coinbase. So it begs the question, is Coinbase safe, and does the SEC have a viable case against them? So let me simply explain here. We're going to use a little bit of logic before we get into all the gritty stuff. But starting from the top, if the SEC gave the all clear and approved Coinbase to be a publicly traded company saying you are regulated, you are good, then that's pretty telling that either number one, the SEC just did not do their due diligence and they're at fault here for just not gathering enough correct information. Either they're at fault for falsely clearing Coinbase, or these charges are probably phony and they're not going to hold up. Because again, it's hard to be able to give someone the all clear and let them be traded in the US as a publicly traded company, only to turn around 2 years later and saying, nope, you guys are acting as an unregistered crypto broker, even though 2 years ago we allowed you to go and have your IPO and become a publicly traded company as a crypto broker. It doesn't make any sense. And on top of that, it looks like BlackRock is going to get this request that they're filing for this Bitcoin spot ETF. And again, they want to use Coinbase. I don't think Coinbase is going anywhere. And it seems like some of the largest, most wealthy financial institutions like BlackRock are very comfortable using Bitcoin. And I don't think that they would file to have this ETF through Coinbase if they believe that Coinbase wasn't going to be around or that they were going to be a fraction of its previous self. I don't see that happening here. I imagine that they've done their due diligence. And also, the fact that the very US government that is suing Coinbase for acting as an unregistered, cryptocurrency exchange, that is the very exchange that the government uses. So, I hope you can see me trying to wrap my head around this. The government is suing an exchange in their own country that is, a stock traded in that country that they approved, that the government's using to buy and sell, but they're saying it's not registered. It doesn't make any sense. I'm trying to put two and two together here to create some sort of double-sided argument that can give a little bit to the SEC here, but I'm just not seeing anything. If the government's using it, if the largest financial institutions are using it, if it got approved by the SEC, I see a very weak argument that the SEC has against Coinbase. Maybe they did something small. Maybe they get hit with a little bit of a fine. That happens to every company. Pretty much every company in tech gets hit with fines. So I imagine that at the very worst, Coinbase gets a slap on the wrist here. They get a little bit of a fine, but I don't see it going anywhere. I don't see anything major happening to Coinbase. I just don't foresee a world where they're able to twist this in such a way where it would hurt Coinbase in any kind of a major way, because ultimately that would now shoot not only the US traditional economy in the foot, but it would also hurt the US government because they're the ones who go through Coinbase for their selling of confiscated cryptocurrency. So in an attempt to not shoot themselves in the foot, it's in their best interest that they keep cryptocurrency, or rather they keep Coinbase around, and that they don't push them out of the US like they've done with so many other cryptocurrency platforms. If there's one platform that they don't want to push out, it's Coinbase, and behind that it's probably Kraken. So that's just my 2 cents on this topic. There's a lot going around, and with all this kind of coming out, the crypto market has been moving up just a little bit. Again, the past couple of weeks, it has been moving down quite a nice bit. Bitcoin's down about 10% in the last 2 to 3 weeks here. But yesterday, we saw a nice little green candle come in where Bitcoin was able to move up almost 2% after barely piercing through that $2,500 support area that we've talked about on the channel for quite some time now. So if you're looking at this, you're on the sidelines thinking, man, do I need to move funds off Coinbase? Is Coinbase safe anymore? Are they going to be around in a year from now? You know, I can't give you financial advice. None of us have absolute answers to all of these questions. But in my opinion, I have a little bit of funds on Coinbase. I feel completely comfortable using them and keeping my funds there. I don't really plan to move it. Obviously, the safest way to keep your cryptocurrency is in a private wallet. But I think besides that, Coinbase, in my personal opinion, is going to be one of the safest options out there. And unless the US SEC wants to really shoot themselves in the foot here, I don't see Coinbase going anywhere. So I hope this provided a little bit of clarity to anyone who is seeing all these wild headlines, getting confused about what all is happening. I hope this provides just a little bit of clarity for you. So if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We got more content just like this one coming up next week. So make sure you stick around for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see all of you soon.